How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, August 15th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys are doing great. It's good to be here with all of you as usual. I really felt that Mars-Jupiter conjunction show up in so many ways yesterday. Just right on the money, right on the dot, right on time, in the moment. I could feel it very prominently, and it was very insightful. A lot of progress was made, and I think a lot of initiation was set into stone, and a clear direction of what's coming next and where we're moving next. I really felt like opened up yesterday in a really visible, prominent way, and it's really exciting. And it definitely didn't come without some friction. There were moments yesterday where there was some friction, and it took a lot of discussion and a lot of that Mars energy to really get to a conclusion and brutal honesty. And it really showed up right on time. And of course, today, this moon's still moving through Sag. It will come to square Neptune and Venus now at 12 degrees, coming into its opposition with Saturn, as we're going to be feeling over the next week, which will square Jupiter. And Venus will eventually square Mars. So there is this cleanup with this Venus and Virgo. It's like we have to really uncover the beauty. We really got to look through the muck and the dirt and the dust and really find the beauty through diligent effort of actually being willing to do the dirty work. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to uncover the beauty. And I think Venus coming around to oppose Saturn, which will square Jupiter, there can be some really great expansion here in relationships, but there has to be this willingness to look at things honestly and clearly and critically. Venus and Virgo wants to look at the relationship critically. It wants to look at the financial situation and from a critical perspective, and even in your art and even in your creative outlets. It's like coming from a more critical place of how you can improve, but also improve that physical and spiritual connection within a relationship or within a creative project or within how you express your beauty. Right? And this is going to be happening over the next week. Venus is on its way to square Jupiter and will oppose Saturn, and, there'll be a T-square here. And, of course, with that Mars-Jupiter, I really felt like I just said, it's like there were moments where we had to kind of strip away some uncomfortable truths, or at least strip down the ego to some uncomfortable truth and just look at what was right in front of us. And, we really found clear answers through difficulty. And it was really an interesting dynamic and how it played out, and just with the astrology and just certain situations, not going into particular details, but in just, other work areas and, because, doing a lot of creative work and working with other people, it's like there's a lot of communication and problem solving and different perspectives and really getting down to the truth of what's the best decision. And it really played out, and it's still playing out, and this energy is going to keep playing out. And, we're really evolving through this. Like, this is like a really rapid evolution occurring here, and we're going to be witnessing things change on an evolutionary scale that we haven't witnessed in a long time. I really feel like with Pluto coming back into Capricorn, we've already seen things play out in the world, and there's been this very extreme buildup. And even in our lives, it's going to set us on a whole new course and a whole new trajectory that we can't really foresee yet. That could be very, very, very exciting for a lot of people, bringing on this new innovation of what the future is going to look like, And this is it. Like, Pluto coming back into Capricorn, this is the last moment, the last battle, until we're fully moving into the age of Aquarius. And how I feel about Pluto fully coming into Aquarius is really breaking down the old systems, as Pluto in Capricorn has done, and really stepping into that territory of really innovating the future and bringing on what in the New Age community and all that, what this New Age is going to look like through this technological lens, and how the soul and spirituality is going to play into that. So there's a lot of deeper questions with these mutable squares to be asked. And I think with Saturn and Pisces, it's like learning the deepest spiritual lessons, and this moon is going to square Neptune today. So there can be some confusion, because this Mars-Jupiter conjunction is so intense, and for some people, this energy may be more difficult to handle and can really, it could feel like, man, it's like, this is too much. Like, I need to check out. It's just, I can't handle this. There's too much going on, and I just need to go sit on the beach for a minute, or go get a fucking massage, and this could be good. With this moon squaring Neptune, it's like we just went through a lot of action-packed energy with this Mars-Jupiter. So it's like, if things start feeling overwhelming, or, the buildup, like, inside of, like, because this moon in Sag, has gone through a lot over this past day and a half. And with it squaring Neptune, it's like, fuck, like I need to take a chill for a second, and not overdo things. Because it's like, this is where we can kind of spin out a little bit emotionally with this moon squaring Neptune, You can feel a little disassociated. So, when this moon does come into Capricorn, we can start to find some stability here and start getting back to the tasks at hand. Okay, Mercury's back in Leo at 29 degrees, and this is covering, like we've been talking about, that Venus retrograde from last July and August through September, and came out of shadow in October. So here we are a year later, Mercury retrograding, crossing that degree. So think about the relationships that you were going through at that time, the situations and relationships, financial situations, or even financial opportunities, or even creative projects or creative opportunities that were happening at that time that didn't quite work out, or you really had high hopes for it, and a lot of love for it, and it didn't quite go the way you wanted it to go. And it's like Mercury is crossing that same area, bringing in a message from that Venus retrograde from last year, and a piece of that is coming through right now, because it was at this degree, 29 degrees, where Mercury's retrograding right here, where that Venus stationed to go direct. Station went retrograded back to, I think it was 15 degrees of Leo. I could be wrong. And Mercury is sending us a message about that situation, right? And it's gonna cross here. It's gonna retrograde back, and then when Mercury goes direct, it's going to cross this degree again when it goes direct. So that's when the message is going to become much more clear. And this is definitely connected to relationship situations that were going on, right? And there is this powerful momentum forward that this Mars-Jupiter is bringing in for us, right? And it is about expressing from the heart and from the soul. The sun is the soul. The sun is your soul, right? It's like, if you really want to get into it, it's like, the sun is your soul. Your ascendant is your projection, your physical projection in reality, right? And the moon is your emotional nature. The sun is your soul, your light, not your body necessarily. It's your soul. So in Leo, it just wants to express its soul. So, I think getting through these blocks and getting through a lot of, getting through this Mercury retrograde. This Mercury retrograde has actually been really helpful. I'm not going to lie. Especially in other work stuff and creative projects that we're working on over here. It's been really effective. And, when you're in sync and in time and making decisions and really executing and meeting the goals, which is what Pluto and Capricorn is pushing us to do, and it's what, we really are striving to do. And of course, this moon in Capricorn today, bringing in that energy. It's like, we really have to stay focused and stay on the task, and keep putting one foot in front of the other and not letting the future overwhelm us, right? It's like before the moon comes into Capricorn, it's squared Neptune, right? So it's like not letting the future overwhelm us with, how much there is to do or just what we want it to look like and what we got to do. It's like when this moon comes into Capricorn, it's like, okay, I see the vision, I see the future. Now I just have to do the task and actually push it forward with your will and with your might and from that place of your destiny and what your soul knows it's supposed to do. And that's what Capricorn is about, is being connected to your destiny and climbing that mountain to meet your destiny, which is, I think we all want to succeed in this life, but it's like, getting to the top is not an easy task. So being willing to stay diligent through the chaos and through all the wild transition and metamorphosis that the collective is going through is really important. And Capricorn teaches us to compartmentalize. Saturn teaches us to compartmentalize, right? It's like, okay, it's okay to express my emotions here. Okay, now I need to do the work, and, I need to set the emotions aside at times and really not let it, get in the way, but also balancing that relationship between that as well. Not letting the emotions dictate the future, but also not completely blocking out the feelings and the emotions where, you're not acknowledging reality for what it is or what the situation is. So we got the Ten of Swords. So it's like, we can't let the heaviness beat us down because, like, with this Venus coming to oppose Saturn, the weight is becoming more dense. Like the feeling and the vibe is becoming more dense, and when it comes to our relationship life with Venus coming to oppose Saturn, like in relationships, it's like, because with the South Node, okay, being disposited by Venus and Venus opposing Saturn, like the relationships are about to go through very big tests, okay? Our financial system is going nuts. Venus, financial system, Uranus and Taurus being ruled by Venus. Like Venus opposing Saturn is going to bring a lot of challenges and a lot of tests in relationships, our financial life, even creative projects. It's like really analyzing Virgo, Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Leo, like, analyzing creative projects, like really looking at things in an honest way. And, sometimes that can be harsh. Definitely that Mars-Jupiter conjunction is allowing us to really put that energy into it, even if it is like, might be a little harsh, or might be a little intense. The energy might be over the top, but at least, you're not masking it with just like trying to keep it cool, just for peace sake, but not actually being honest and getting to the truth about where we're trying to go. So Saturn is definitely, we're starting to feel Saturn a lot more. We're feeling Venus too in Virgo, and Venus in its detriment in Virgo, opposing Saturn, it's like, it's very critical, and this is very harsh energy, Venus opposing Saturn. So with that Ten of Swords, it's like that heaviness coming on with Saturn, and these we have to be willing to accept the challenge with Saturn. And that's how you master Saturn. You got to say, I accept the challenge. Let's go. Bring it on. What do we got to do? Okay, with Virgo, it's like, we got to analyze it. We got to really be diligent. We got to be objective and, be willing to clean up the mess when we have to. We have to get our hands dirty. There's a lot of work that has to be done. Relationships always take work. So that's what we're gearing up for. And this Mars-Jupiter is giving us a big boost. And it definitely showed up on time. So anyway, I will end it there, and I will see you all on Friday. And you guys have a wonderful Thursday, and peace out.